text neck. That's what's wrong with it. It's text neck.
That's what she does. She ignores people.
I don't ignore you. Neil right now is mad because he gave me some homework when we left here yesterday.
2 days ago.
He said, if you really miss me and if you really love me, you'll learn the theme song to, I feel like Bustin' Loose.
No, Busting Loose.
Busting Loose. And I was like, oh, okay. But
you failed me.
I
had faith in you.
Whatchamacallit, I didn't remember.
I didn't take into heed what everybody says about you.
What did they say? Tell me everything.
They say you're no good.
And who else?
They say you're stuck on Henny and wings.
And when do they say these things
all you care about
to
is
you?
Henny and wings.
And Henny ruined my life.
Henny ruined your life.
It did. It does.
Patron ruined mine.
Patron. Listen, a couple weeks ago, no, for real, I did have Patron, and Patron literally did almost ruin my life. I almost died.
See how she just switched the subject, Taylor?
I see it.
I just wanted to
ignoring me.
But how did Patron ruin your life? Tell me everything.
I don't want to talk about it.
I want to know.
Everybody knows it's something I put in my past.
Oh, when you had your last birthday.
No, it wasn't my birthday.
Yeah, whose birthday was it? Because
I
remember you was at Slade.
We're not going to talk
and
about
you were throwing them back.
mishaps.
And I think I remember listening to the station at that point because I was going to work, and you were still a little bit done. I heard that you were driving in somebody's car.
I wasn't driving.
Well, you were in somebody's car. You threw up in their car.
I threw up on the bumper of their car.
Hold on, Neil. Are you admitting to this right now? I can't. This is not the Neil I know.
You see how I get everything out of him? Yeah. What else did you do that day? You was just throwing them back, too, right?
I was
what was wrong?
bamboozled.
Were you dealing with something? Was something happening? Were you having a hard time?
I want to talk about it. You're not Dr. Phil.
I am Dr. Phil.
No, you're not.
I'm Dr. Sauce.
You're not about to Joan Rivers me.
You know what?
I'm not going to cry at Big City.
I might have to have you back like Hennessy and Hot Wings so we can really talk about this.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Talk about your alcohol.
You talk about Henny and Hot Wings.
And
you're not talking about that.
This is a very big thing that's going on in the Black and the West Indian community, especially the West Indian community. This West Indian community, y'all got drinking problems. Every song is about rum. Some type of drinking or rum. All day we drinking and we don't need no chaser. That means that you guys are drinking the rum straight. It's going straight to your heart. And we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this, West Indians.
You know what we need
especially
to talk
you Trinidadian people. Y'all got problems.
talk about, and I blame it on everyone from the West Indies.
Tell me about
especially those who participate in Carnival.
We
need to talk about, yes, I'm talking about your people.
Don't you talk about my people.
Yes, I'm talking about your people, my people, all our people.
I'm the only one
that can talk about
people.
This wild goose chase that I went on to obtain a backpack.
A backpack from who?
I'm not going to talk about that either.
Tell me, who you got a backpack?
I got a backpack, and I'm on the road with a backpack full of rum.
Really? During Carnival?
Yes.
You had the backpack full of rum?
Every year.
Oh my. So what does that say about your problem?
You're not supposed to put alcohol in these backpacks.
Why
but
we... Oh, you mean like the
water.
Camel packs.
Yeah.
Yes, the Camel packs. Y'all ain't fooling nobody thinking that you're trying to stay hydrated on the road. You're not. You're trying to stay drunk on the road, and that is crazy.
I've seen you with one.
You ain't never seen
me.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
I don't have one though.
You know what? I was told that about you. You'll deny.
That's the way you're supposed to do it.
That's the way life goes.
I know that's right. You ready for this phone call?
Yes.
Hold on, what do you say instead of garage door?
Good morning. You're live. Good morning. Good. We're good. How are you?
I'm well.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't have been a wild goose chase. You can get them at Burlington Coat Factory.
Look at you.
Get them on Amazon.
I
get them at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Whoa, see,
I am ashamed of you, young lady.
I am so ashamed, you West Indian. I know you're West Indian because you know all the spots. She said like a fat person who like chicken. Like you can go to this chicken spot. They fry their joints hard with the crispy sauce on it. Yeah, the gumbo sauce. Yep.
I'm so disappointed.
She's excited.
I know that you buy them for water though, right?
What were we supposed to do?
I know you buy them for water because you like to stay hydrated during these events, right?
You're not supposed to put rum in them.
But see, that's the thing. You guys will have a backpack full of rum and a little bottle of water in the little baby bottles of water just to wet your whistle when you don't have no rum at the time. Y'all are not using water for the right ways, and you guys are very, 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 very disrespectful to the companies of these camel packs. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I have water in mine.
You don't have water in yours.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't, because you hang around a whole bunch of West Indians that are leading you astray.
You hear that in the back?
She said it in there.
You hear that in the back? You know what that is? See?
Yeah.
Tayla took the initiative to find your song.
Why do you like this song?
Show me that you care.
I don't.
Show me that you care.
Thank you so much, Taylor.
That's all I asked you to do.
I do care. Let's check it out.
No, you don't care, because you know why? You can't tell me who the song's by. It's the Bustin' Loose theme song, but you can't tell me who the song's by.
By the people who sang the Bustin' Loose theme song.
Hold on, baby. I'll give you hints. All right, let's play like charades.
I'm not going to guess it. I'm going to let y'all know.
You are going to guess it.
She won't get it.
Strumming my pain with his finger.
Lauryn Hill.
Oh, God.
I told you she
Yo,
didn't
it's time
get
for you to go.
I told y'all, I ain't one in the front. I told y'all I ain't going to know. I don't even know this song.
The name of the song is the children's song.
It's because there's children singing it.
It's the theme song.
Who sung that song originally?
Of Busting Loose, and it's by Roberta Flack.
Let me tell y'all, 617-282-0062. Come answer these people's questions, because I ain't going to know it. I'm going to let you know right now.
Answered the
I
question.
don't know it. The original singer of,
You don't know nothing about that.
Nope.
Hey.
It was way before my time.
I know, we weren't even born yet, bro.
This was 1981.
Yeah, I was not even a twinkle in my mother's eyes.
I was a twinkle.
Were you?
Yeah, a
He
little
was
twinkle.
able to tinkle at that time.
You was probably reading the full book.
No, I was about 5.
You better be reading. Or know the cat and the rat and the fat and the hat.
I was reading, but I was about 5.
That's fine. See, I wasn't even almost a little
Actually,
bit.
no, I was 5.
See? Look at that history lesson, people. That is a history lesson from Big City 101.3, the Good Life Morning Show. Thank you for tuning into that trivia segment.
You're not getting off that easy.
I'm off of it.
You're not getting off that easy.
This is making me tired.
You have a caller, though. You have a caller that
Hey,
might
caller.
have some answers
Oh,
for you.
good. Hey, caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
I would not think that you would know anything about Bustin' Loose or Which Way Is Up or any of the movie.
This is
First
Neil.
and foremost, this is Neil. Secondly, the trivia for her was to find the theme song of Busting Loose.
This man
I said,
gave
if
a
you really
grown
care,
behind woman homework after she leaves a morning show and she's supposed to remember it for the next
she
morning.
said, you was the one that jumped out the window and said you care.
I did say I care, and that's it. I didn't ask for homework.
Really, like,
I don't know things.
OG enough to know those.
I'm just a little bit OG. I'm like a medium G.
She could have Googled it.
But I didn't remember to Google it. Maybe if you had text me throughout the day, like, hey, don't forget your homework, girl.
It wasn't homework. It was just show me that you care.
But I do care.
No, you don't.
My word should be enough. And thank you. And I'm very youthful and ratchet.
Let me ask you a question. How old are you?
He's grown enough to know what's going on.
So the reason I asked you that, because regardless of your age, like you could have been young and you could have just Googled the information. It was Richard Pryor. You could have, yeah.
I didn't feel like it though. Does that count for anything?
She didn't feel like it because you didn't care. That was the point.
I didn't, and that was not my fault.
Nope.
I cared about you while
Speaking
you were here, but then after you left, then
No,
out of sight, out of mind.
no.
I have to do that in order for me to be able to, get through the day.
No. I don't like it.
have mercy, snitching.
Or the day before.
You know what? Mind your business and don't talk about my text neck because this is a very big problem in society and I'm trying to be a better person. I won't be on my phone for the rest of the
Stop
day.
drinking Henny and you'll be fine.
I can't stop drinking Henny. It makes me happy. See? You too. Thank you.
You do know that we don't drink Henny no more.
Who don't drink Henny no more?
None of us.
That's your business.
There's 3 people in the city that drink Hennessy.
Me?
You, Mo D, and some other fool that ain't figured out that Henny's done.
Well, that's your business.
Nope, I don't drink Hennessy.
That's fine.
Hold on, what do you drink? Remy? You drink Remy?
He probably drink Remy or Cavassier.
I
Cavassier? Oh, you
white
sound like a hood rat boo.
You drink what liquor?
white liquor.
For real?
Cavassier.
Yes.
Since when?
Cavassier.
I've been drinking white liquor for a long time.
And what kind? Grey Goose?
Preferably
Ciroc?
Patron.
Patron. Boy, bye.
I am a tequila drinker.
Yeah, you look like a tequila drinker. That's why you ain't got no more hair on your chest. It's all gone. You know, that tequila done
That's
burnt
right.
it off.
Burnt it off.
That's a shame.
As much as y'all talking about Henny and Patron, y'all need to go ahead and go get some sponsorships real quick.
Yeah, right. From those two, I'm gonna start drinking bum juice from some.
Speak for yourself, shorty.
You know, she drink,
I have a Patron
I drink the
sponsor.
deuce.
Boom.
and he had a boss sponsor too.
Oh, did he? I'm gonna see you later.
Boom. No.
This sexual harassment is real right now.
I didn't
I don't
do
want to be a part of this.
That was what he did.
This is on camera.
Quid pro
Take me to
quo.
court.
Quid pro quo.
Take you to
You
court.
do something for me, I do something for you.
No. All I wanted you to do is show me that you care. You can't screw me and then just,
And
pat
leave.
me on
And then
the
leave.
bum and leave.
This is what's wrong with you black men. You never take a hint. No? Nothing else? Alright, good for you.
I'm not talking to HotSauce no more.
What time is it? It's time for us to get into some.
You have a call up on the line.
Hey, caller. Good morning.
Is that Miss G?
Yes, it is.
No, I want hi Neil.
Hi, Miss G. Miss G, I need you to save me. I'm being harassed over here.
I know you're drunk, Neil. Me too.
I'm not drunk this morning, Miss G. I'm sober. Going to work.
Neil, I'm saving you. Just leave that Patron alone. Go get you some white or go to sleep at night.
I agree. I
Yeah,
agree with him.
too much sauce.
Yeah, too much stuff. You better stay away from him, boy. You drowning that sauce.
Do me a favor. I want you to say Cavassier.
Cavassier.
That's Cavassier.
Yes, somewhat. Yes, I love him anyway.
I love him too. He just doesn't understand how much I do. And I don't want no more homework.
Hey, Miss G, I love you, baby.
Tell Miss G next bottle's on her.
So, Neil, do your thing, babe. You only get to do it once.
All right, Miss G.
Oh, she said have a blessed day. Hold on. Can you say it one more time? Cavassier.
Cavassier.
You said it just like a hood rat.
Cavassier.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? Because I like to say I like to talk the vernacular that the people talk, and I like to meet them where they are, and sometimes it's just funner to be a rat, funner or gooder. Gooder is probably one of my favorite words ever. It's been going on
I'm
for a
gooder
long.
than you?
No,
How
he
you
did
use
that
gooder?
so gooder,
Lord have mercy.
goodlier too.
Goodlier.
Goodlier. That was goodlier than the last time. I'm just messing with y'all. I got me a good education over at the Delmont High School
One day.
One day. All right, so we're gonna get into these top 5 news stories.
Yeah.
Let's do that. I was looking around the internet yesterday, and I found quite a few things that I thought were kind of cool. America's largest police chief organization apologized for the role in the mistreatment of black people. I don't know how good this goes or how well this sits with us, but
Bye now.
bye boo. When people apologize for things that they see is wrong, I have some type of appreciation for them. Via the Huffington Post, events over the past several years, Cunningham said, has caused many to question the actions of our officers and has tragically undermined the trust that the public must and should have in the police departments. The history of the law enforcement profession is replete with examples of bravery, self-sacrifice, and service to the community. At its core, policing is a noble profession. But Cunningham added, at the same time, it is also clear that the history of policing has also had darker periods. He cited laws enacted by state and federal governments which have required police officers to perform many unpalatable tasks. While this is no longer the case, the dark side of our shared history has created a multi-generational, almost inherited mistrust between, black people and the government and police enforcement. I think that's kind of dope when somebody apologizes. I finished watching 13th last night.
I did too.
Did you?
I did
good.
too. Yes.
Look at us.
I know.
I finished watching it and it wasn't as bad as bad as I thought it would be. So I didn't have to chain smoke cigarettes, but it was very hard to watch. A lot of parts were very hard to watch. When I think that there's a clip going around of when Donald Trump was making a speech one time about when America was good again and what they used to do. Back in the day, they would have punched them in their face, or
the cops would have acted swifter than that.
Yeah, these things that he's saying now in 2016 that they used to do to us back in the day.
And they used videos from the 60s.
To kind of correlate with what he was saying at the same time. And I just thought that was so crazy. When I saw the clip before I actually watched the video, I was like, that's why I can't watch the movie. I mean, the documentary, because it's just too much. But as I started to learn the history of everything and the Clinton, everything that went on with them, and then it feels like the same thing because there's a part in the documentary where Clinton actually apologized. He apologized for doing the most wrongest. Wrongest is the word. The most wrongest thing ever, and that was to help them put us away. So I think that was important, and this story reminded me of that. So that's why I brought that up today.
I would have to say, when I watched 13th yesterday, there was no new information, but I think what hurt the most is when that clip of the baby, Browder.
Yeah.
They had Browder talking about, if I would have just copped out and went home, my story wouldn't be told, and this happens to so many young men and so many people.
And the video was just him getting beat up in jail.
Yes.
I was livid. Like, leave him alone.
And not just that, it wasn't just incarcerated persons that was whooping his ass. It was
the
officers that was whooping his ass. And then, like, when you look at the video, there's nothing prior that, I don't know if he said something smart out of his mouth, but what I say out of my mouth ain't got nothing to do with you putting your hands on me.
When I have handcuffs on.
Yes.
Then tackling me to the ground, and then other officers coming and helping you beat my behind.
And you know what? I thought about that, because typically when you think about a fight takes place, when a person rushes over to the scene, the first thing they do is try to grab the person up off, and every single officer just went in to get their own licks.
Even one came in with some more handcuffs for some shackles, like for his feet. Like, oh, so now you guys are gonna even debilitate him more by shackling his feet, and he can't do anything at all because his arms are behind his back. So the movie, the documentary is very, very important, people. To those who are not woke, it might wake you up a little bit. To those who are, it may not be anything special, but just something that you should see to be a part of great conversation and be a part of society. So I'm happy that I watched that. I'm really happy about that.
And not just that, even if you are woke, it's good to watch because it puts a lot of things into perspective, and it kind of gives you a timeline.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us are woke, but we don't understand the timeline. And I feel like 13th did an excellent job of visualizing that timeline and how incarceration rates have increased through policy.
I remember with the ALEC Corp and everything like that.
Oh, ALEC.
Yeah, I remember one of the things that they showed when it was like statistics or whatever. It was about 1 in 17 black men are
No, 1
incarcerated.
in 17 white men are incarcerated. 1 in 3.
1 in 3, yeah, and 1 in 3
men.
black men. And I thought that that was just so so crazy. Like, really, 1 in 17 versus 1 in 3.
See, and the language was different because I remember it was like 1 in 3 white males versus 1 in 17 white males get arrested versus 1 in 3 young black boys. Do you remember like how they used the language 1 in 17 men versus 1 in 3 boys? It just that threw me for a loop. And the whole, if you haven't seen 13th, please go see it. If you have anything that you want to touch on regarding 13th, 617-282-0062. I wanted to piggyback off of your story of the police apologizing. We tend to think sometimes that out of state and down south, and when you get to the Tennessees and the Alabamas and the Carolinas, that's where all of this police terrorism takes place. But the truth of the matter is a Connecticut state trooper approached Michael Pickard on September 11th in 2015. The Connecticut state trooper took his phone from him and said, it's illegal for you to take my picture. What he didn't know is that it was a video. He had the video, the phone still recording while he was in the car, and him and another officer are over here fabricating a charge against this man. And if it wasn't for the video, the man would be in jail right now for aggravated assault, trespassing, and all types of foolish.
How did they find the phone after?
That's a good question.
If they had it, how did that end up being something?
What I'm thinking is
they put it into evidence. Probably.
So my assumption, well, there is no evidence. How would it be evidence if, like, he just probably went to the police station and claimed his property? It was probably
and then
dead.
Probably saw it. Oh,
the phone probably died because it's recording. It's recording. The officer didn't know that it was recording. The ACLU is filing a lawsuit against the Connecticut State Police for violating Michael Pickard's First and Fourth Amendment rights. The video was filmed on Pickard's camera on September 11th. That night, Pickard was filming the state troopers on a road where a DUI checkpoint was set up. Pickard routinely protests such checkpoints, filmed police at these stops, and posted the videos on YouTube. So maybe he had a GoPro and it just went live.
Yeah.
And the officers are caught saying, so we can hit him with reckless use of highway by a pedestrian and creating a public disturbance. And whatever he said, Sergeant John Jacoby says in the video, and then they go back to saying, the evidence clearly shows that the police officers violated his rights. They took his camera, and he has free speech. In First and Fourth Amendments.
I think that it's so important for us to know the law too, like know your rights, and we're trying to do that at Girls Radio. We're gonna bring in someone who's just gonna kind of tell them what their rights are, like if they ever get pulled over
from the
ACLU.
Like that.
Probably, I think it is. I forget when it's scheduled for, but we're gonna have them come in just so that they can know like what their rights are. Like you don't have to consent to searching your car, certain things like that. And I think that we all should know that. Maybe we'll have somebody come in here too and do that.
So who's really good is from the ACLU. His name just escaped me. He came on to the Wake Up with TaylaAndre show and went through knowing your rights. There's also a youth organization that came up with an app for Boston public students. I can't think of the app right now, but
I feel like these people have an app.
Yeah,
the ones that are coming out to speak to us.
It might be the youth, because the youth actually youth themselves came up with the app that know your rights as far as like the school officers are concerned.
Yeah, I do think it is them that are coming out, and I think that it's cool for the kids that
Carl Williams,
that's the guy from the other place.
Yeah, Carl Williams from the ACLU, who does know your rights, and I think the caller might have some information on it, the youth organization. Good rising, caller, you're live. How are you, love?
Forget that you, as a citizen, if you don't feel comfortable being pulled over, being stopped, or whatever, you have the right to call the closest police station, or you can call 911 and be like, I don't feel comfortable with these cops around me. I want to be able to go to a police station. People fail to realize you're able to do do that. And you are able to drive your car or walk yourself to that police station if you don't feel comfortable being in the situation that you're in.
I think it's more of people, like when you get pulled over, you're not thinking clearly. What you're trying to think about is how this is gonna go down. So they're not thinking like, oh, I can get to the police station. They're at that moment when you're pulled over, all you're thinking about is, I hope I have my license. I hope I have my registration. What did I do wrong? So I think that if more people were more conscious and kind of felt okay for not feeling okay for being pulled over, but if they stopped and breathed and thought about what could go on, I think that they would use those, kind of things like, let's go to the police station, or I'm going to call this in myself because I don't know why I'm pulled over. And a lot of people should do that mostly like at night when you're by yourself and there's nobody else on the road and you know you didn't do nothing
If you're
and
a
the
black
police
person.
have pulled you over. No sir, call that in. I'm on my way. But then who knows what's going to happen then?
If you have family members who are cops, and when I don't feel comfortable, I will roll up my window and I'll say, I'm going to call that family member because I don't feel comfortable with you right now. I have done that, which is not really good because it puts that person in an awkward position, but I had a cop literally come to me, what the hell are you doing? Like, why are you yelling at me? And kind of found out I was even wrong.
Baby, I pay your salary. I'm sorry, did I break a law? No. Am I free to go?
Can I leave now?
I'm kind of crazy when it comes to it, but you have all the right to say, I don't feel comfortable with you, and I want to go to a police station. Sure. So.
I would do that. Like, I think that's cool. Like, if I ever get pulled over when I don't feel like it, I'm gonna be like, can we just drive to the police station real quick? Especially, I don't get pulled over a lot.
And they can be taking it out on, just like how we have that days when we be taking out on our coworkers. But I've done it in New York, in Brooklyn.
Okay then.
I am certainly not a Christian, and you kind of see it, you don't want to get a ticket. But just quick, I want to go to a police station, and you'll be all fine.
Thank you, baby. You as well, love and appreciate you.
Thank
Too
you.
much sauce. Good rise and call you live.
Hi, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Just wanted to touch on and know your rights. Is that no matter even when we do know our rights and they pull us over, the cops say, you tell us, my judge, you can't search my car, they usually just drag you out. So,
They would just, but if you, aren't you supposed to like call it into the station to let them know that you're coming in? You can't just drive, can you?
I like all the time. Like, I mean, you could take other calls from it, but like being a black male or a colored person, Hispanic, Latino, is that they have no respect for it. And most of the cops that work in Boston, they don't even live in Boston. And the reason why they want to work is that they'll tell you that's where the action's at. So they already come into our neighborhood.
Hold on, pause, because that's a pretty strong statement right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love for a police officer to confirm or deny those claims. 617-282-0062. I have this thing that I do on the Wake Up with TaylaAndre show, and can we implement it today?
Yeah.
If you don't want to be live on air, but you want to share some information about this, because I know police officers have to remain discreet. They still want to maintain their job. So please inbox myself or Miss HotSauce on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I would seriously confirm or deny that all the action is in Boston, so that's where these officers are coming to. Because I don't want to say, oh yeah, that sounds about right, even though it does sound accurate.
If I was a police officer because I'm lazy, go ahead.
What they do on a technicality basis is that they'll either use an address in Boston, or they'll live in Boston and move out, and then some cops that live out of town will get transferred into town. But I would never call a radio station and know the power of the media and just tell a lie or something that I heard. This is actual fact. For me, interacting with the cops on a regular basis for the majority of my life, I can tell you, those cops go there because they claim that's where the action's at. And working in the suburbs is boring. So they're already going into our neighborhood with that mentality. I'm telling you.
So one of the things that scares me is the fact that what we do have is we have in Massachusetts veterans preference. So you can be from Wisconsin, you could be from Washington State, you could be from redneck Alabama, and if you decide that after serving that as a veteran you want to work in Boston, we have veteran preference. And what that means is, like, prior to citizens, disabled veterans, then citizens can, well, everybody can apply, but that's who gets hired.
Mhm.
And my thing is, you're a veteran. You went overseas dealing with insurgents. You went over there dealing with people who you may have had to kill a child. You may have had to kill a woman. You're coming home, you pass psychological exams, but what are you dealing with internally? What biases do you
kinds of
have
stuff.
from Wisconsin when the first black person you met, was in your platoon? These are the things that I have a problem with. You have to live in the city of Boston for 1 year. That's all of your, waiting to be called. So you can apply, move to Boston, live here for 1 year, and now all of a sudden you police the streets of a city that that you don't even know, and the people don't know you don't know the culture, you don't understand the people, and the first black person you ever encountered was in your platoon 7 years ago. Like, I'm gonna need for you to have a little bit more interactions with the people that you're policing, and not you and 3 of your lookalikes riding around in D-boy cars.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Thank you.
We love you, baby. You're rising, Carly, you're live. Hey, Miss G.
Listen, I called back because my husband was a Vietnam veteran, and he took the civil service exam and passed. Now, he was served in Vietnam, and in turn went into the police force, and he had all kinds of nightmares from being in combat. Now we take veterans now that are over there in Iraq and Afghanistan, let them come back here and get on the police force, and they terrorists. They come over here and terrorize the people. So I'm like you, they need to give them some kind of psychological testing. You're really hearing me now. Psychological testing, and and then find out if they're good or send them on their way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. She said her husband came back from Vietnam, and our men that went overseas to Vietnam really didn't want to, because a lot of them were aligned with Cassius Clay. What the Viet Cong do to me? I need to go over there and release them. One of the things that I want to bring back up 13th is that Sister Angela Davis is also in that film.
Yeah, she is.
And she was just like, one of the things that we didn't think about is who, as far as like incarcerated persons, who are we hiring to watch over them? Like, what kind of background checks are we doing on these people that are policing inside of the institutions? And again, the way that the inmates, the incarcerated persons were getting beat on,
Yeah.
the way that they were treated, mistreated.
I think that's like a long history of correctional officers not being, like getting the most out of a job by they don't want to be there themselves. It's a bad place to be. They don't want to be there. They have a job. It doesn't even make sense. Even in these funny character like series like Orange is the New Black and stuff like that, there's always correctional officers, not all of them, but some of them who really don't care, and their only objective is to bring hell because they have this rise in power now that they're correctional officers against these inmates that don't really have any say in what they do every day, so they take advantage of it. Sometimes when you get power in your hand, you really take advantage of it, and
sexual advantage,
that
physical
sucks.
advantage,
Yeah.
mental advantage. And you do know statistically, police officers and correctional officers tend to commit suicide at higher rates.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to have like high blood pressure and all sorts of diseases.
Because it's what they're seeing and what they're doing. It's that mentality that they're like,
Being
you're
in that
going in there.
environment.
Yeah, you're going in there, and it's changing you into something different. And not to bring this back to bring up Orange is the New Black again, but like there was an incident where one of the correctional officers by accident did something, and prior to that, because I don't want to do a spoiler just in case you guys are really, really ridiculous and haven't seen it yet. There was an instance where right before he committed whatever he did, the warden was like, "You need to get out of here because it's going to change you. Everything that you're seeing in here is going to completely change you, and not for the better. It's going to change you for the worse because it's a bad place to be." But I do not want to dwell too much on that because it is a heavy subject.
It is. Do you want to take these calls or you want to move on?
Let's move on to I know that phone lines are lit up right now because this is a topic that we can get lost in for a very, very long time. So I kind of just want to move on just because it's the morning time, and we just want to get our circulations. But this story is no better. A horrific collision between SUV bike kills a 14-year-old boy in Brockton. Just for some local news, the boy was riding a motorcycle. The boy was riding a bicycle when he was fatally struck by a silver Ford Escape driven by a young man around 6:42 p.m. on Tuesday on 1320 Main Street between Brockton and the Food Mart. The Teen Challenge Brockton campus in Brockton. The person was struck by an SUV on a city street and killed Tuesday evening and has been identified as a 14-year-old Brockton boy. The boy was riding his bicycle and he was fatally struck. The Plymouth County District Attorney Office issued a statement shortly after 7 a.m. Wednesday identifying the victim as Medeo de Halo, 14 of Brockton. Medina was a freshman at Brockton High School, but has siblings in the city elementary and middle school, according to city officials. There's a lot of problems right now with driving, whether it be a bike or just transporting yourself to wherever you need to go. Whether you're walking, whether you're driving, whether you're bicycling. We saw that to bring it up, the case of the teenager that got killed in the car accident on American Legion Highway. The 17-year-old Maya. Again,
Gorgeous.
Yes,
Beautiful
absolutely
young
beautiful
lady.
little girl. The stories around that are still developing, but I have heard some stories from some of her friends. And we have to do a better job with kind of teaching our kids and ourselves, the laws of the road, pretty much. We have to be more mindful when we're teaching them how to drive and teaching them to have respect for other cars, pedestrians alike, bicyclists. There's all these bike lanes in Boston that nobody really respects. There's pedestrians that are jaywalking. There's so many things that are going on in our community, that the smallest things, even teaching your children how to cross the street by themselves, to not go after a ball in the street if they lose it. There are so many little things, and I have a 4-year-old, and he's very active, and they're just going across the street like you never go in the street without mommy. You never go in the street without holding somebody's hand. And I teach him from an early age to look both ways. I don't know if he's getting the concept of it, but these are the things that you need to teach. Like, so many times I'm driving and I see these little children jump out in the middle of the road, and I'm like, holy smokes, I could have ended your life. They're in the behind cars. There are cars that are there's road rage going on. There is racing and speeding. I mean, I'm guilty of speeding too, but I think that we have to be a little bit more conscious of what we are doing, because it not only affects our lives, but it affects everybody's life. Literally, it affects everybody's life. And we can see this in evidence because those kids that were involved in that car accident with poor Maya, like, they are messed up. They're going to be messed up for a very, very long time because they had to witness this happen to one of their good friends. And she was a really great girl. She was a really good girl, full of life. And, it really, really sucks. And it's so sad. And it's just such a tragedy that her little life is over now at the age of 17. Like I said, her GoFundMe page is still up and running.
And I have it right in front of me if you want me.
It is, yeah. Go ahead.
Maya Rajan, forgive me if I said her last name wrong, born August 13th, 1998, was one of the most beautiful people a person can meet. She was smart, caring, and full of life. She was eager to learn and grow. She lightened up every room with her smile, and her laugh was contagious. As a young girl, Maya loved to sing, dance, and spend time with her family. As she grew into a teenager, she always dreamed of being successful. She wanted to be able to give her back to her family and her loved ones and those that loved her. In 2016, she became a senior at Boston Community Leadership Academy and was determined to go to college one day. Maya was an active leader in her community and was a member of Jubilee Christian Church and the YMCA. On October 14th, 2016, Maya was a passenger with her two friends from school when she lost her life in a fatal car accident. Maya was in the back seat wearing a seatbelt during the time of the accident. Unfortunately, she was the only passenger in the vehicle that died. The other two passengers have not reached out to Maya's family as of yet. The details of the motor vehicle accident are currently under investigation. Her family plans to have a celebration of life in Boston, Massachusetts, and bury Maya in her home country of Trinidad and Tobago. Please continue to keep Maya in your prayers, as well as her family, her friends, and anybody whose lives she touched who are currently mourning her right now. Any donation to help her family send her home, because you already know Trinidad and Tobago is no joke when you're trying to fly there, let alone fly a body.
Yeah, anywhere in the Caribbean that you are trying to fly a body, it is not cheap. And this is where they want to bury her. So if we can
Her
help,
hometown.
what is the GoFundMe again?
The GoFundMe is GoFundMe.com/Maya, and that's MayaRoget. Just go to GoFundMe.com, type in the search Maya Roget, and you'll be able to find her. They had a goal of $10,000. They surpassed their goal. They're currently at $12,152. But the truth of the matter is, it's not enough.
Yeah,
because when you think about burial expenses, $10,000 is here in Massachusetts if she was being buried down the street.
Mm-hmm.
So let alone what the cost looks like. If you can give, please do. If you can give your prayers, your love, your peace to the family. And as far as the families, I thought that was awkward that the families of the other two teens have not reached out to Maya's family as of that says the GoFundMe. That's so. I want to piggyback off what you were talking about earlier, as far as being mindful and teaching our children how to drive and how to conduct themselves on the road. One of the things that we always talk about, and I know I've said it to Anari, is be mindful of your friends and the actions of your friends, because they directly affect you.
They do. Directly.
Literally.
Yeah.
So if you're in a vehicle and somebody has a gun in the car, you know, you have a gun as well, even though it may not be your gun. And perfect example of this, this accident, the baby was in the back seat. She wasn't driving. Her friends were dictating how fast the car was going, everything. So
Everything
just be
that
mindful.
surrounded it. Yeah, like it's important. You have to talk to your kids about these things, because a lot of time, us as parents, we may not have time. We may not have time because we're busy working and putting food on the table and doing everything else possible, that you may not have time to talk about things that you think that they would have common sense enough to know, but they sometimes don't understand that their actions of their friends directly affect you. I mean, there was a situation the other day on Warren Street where the kids hijacked or stole a car and went flying down in a car chase down Warren Street, and the SUV flipped over, and there was 3 little boys involved in that. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? This was like at 2:30. First of all, it's lunchtime. Y'all should be eating some food.
Yeah, right. Not Boston. They probably got out of school at 1:15.
That's another thing, and that's a subject for a whole different day. Is the time that these kids are getting out of school is out of control, because I don't feel like I was ever out of school before 3:30. And these people be out of school at like 11:15.
I know that's right.
What are you doing at 11:15? You got mad time on your hands. But again, start the dialogue with your children. Really talk to them about everything that's going on and what's happening in the world. Even the smallest things make a big difference. Even if they don't listen, they're hearing it somewhere in the back of their head, and they will remember it. Like, oh, y'all want to do this today? I'm going to take the bus. Talk to you later. But getting into some more stories, I have some. I find that we don't touch on enough Caribbean news.
And the whole weekend is dedicated
yes.
to every island. I love it.
Let's see. I don't know if a lot of Trinidadians, if you've heard of a guy named Ian Elaine. Ian Elaine is a big TV. I think he's a big TV star. He's a former talk show host. Ian Elaine. He wept today, calling on his fans and his supporters to help him pay off $748,000 in debt. He occurred for defaming a businessman. Elaine took to social media after a writ of execution was carried out in his home at Riverloot Road, Quava, where furniture, appliances, and elected away. Here's Allen recalled how his son was awakened from the sleep and escorted out of the family's Quava home by police. He said the family's home was invaded and several items seized, including his refrigerator, television, and bed. Elaine said, if we have to raise $748,000, we will raise it. There are people who will support me, people who will give. I think that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. What businessman did he defame?
This is all because I spoke out in the Sean Sammy case. One of my friends called attorney for Sammy, Lala, and he said there would be no negotiations in this country. You cannot speak out against people. My sweets are on the ground. All my son's stuff. They took his television, his games, his snacks, his cereals on the ground. They surrounded the house like I was a big time bandit. This was a totally...
Pause, baby. You said they took the cereal.
They took the child's cereal and his snacks. They took all his little
for using his voice for speaking against
Sean Sammy. Who is Sean Sammy?
I'm about to look that up. I definitely am.
Elaine said it was heartbreaking to stand by and watch police walk his son out the house. They have embarrassed me, but I am still standing, he said. Elaine said he had contracted his attorney, Gerald Ramdeen. That's crazy. He went onto Facebook Live and he kind of showed a little clip of them taking all his stuff. I haven't watched it, so I don't know how. Like their house is a mess. You can tell it was a 17-minute video, so I have posted it on my Facebook page, Miss Hot Sauce to You, if you want to read more about the story or see what they did to his home. But they literally took everything out because he used his voice and his platform to speak out about something that he felt very strongly about. And as a radio personality, it is very hard to be able to, you have this platform and you're supposed to shed light onto a lot of different subjects, and not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to agree with what you say, and not everybody's going to like you. So when you're reporting the news and you're reporting things that you feel strongly about, and you're reporting about things that's going on in the community that people may not want you to speak about, it is for you to use your platform to do it. And he did that, and he's actually paying for that. So if you know him or if you support him, go onto my page, Miss Hot Sauce to You, on Facebook, and read up about the story and read about how ways that you can support him if you want to. And that's from the TrinidadExpress.com.
Wow.
Yeah.
In addition to $630,000, is it Elaine? Elaine will also have to pay Sammy's legal costs, which yet have to be assessed. So I'm trying to find what he actually said about what he actually said about him. It seems as if the Trinidad Express is the only one who has this story, but it's just defamed. It doesn't say anything else.
So maybe he reported something that Sammy didn't want. Let me see.
And Sammy is a construction worker. Maybe one of our callers has the answer, because we currently have 2 callers on the line. Good rising, caller, you're live.
Good morning.
Good rising.
First of all, his name is Ian Allen.
Oh, okay.
And this goes back a while back. There's a lot of politics and stuff involved. I mean, I'm so sorry to hear what happened to him. But I was saying this, I felt bad for the kid. But I mean, it's like all that money, it's like, well, when he works, I mean, it's like, what do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of questions to be asked, first of all. I mean, that's a lot of money to owed. But then when you get paid, what do you do with your salary? You know what I'm saying? Because everything in his house was just rented, and they just took everything. That's kind of strange. So I mean, I know it's because it sounds like a lot of money. Number one,
It does.
700 points. That's a lot of money in Trinidad, especially. That's a lot of money. So we need to like get more details of what's really going on before. I was surprised he didn't put a GoFundMe page up. I don't know if there's one up.
It's probably gonna be there soon.
Yeah, I just think we need to get more details before we just jump on and just say here, you know, donate it or whatever. We need to get more details. You know, because that's a lot. I think there's a big political thing going on with this.
Entertainer Ian Allen, allegations on his Crime Watch show week related to contracts awarded on the stadium project has cost him his job. His show on CNC3 TV has been terminated. The following is a statement issued by Guardian Media Limited on Thursday, which came less than 24 hours before Allen and his attorney were due to meet with management. We announced today with regret that CNC3 would no longer carry the Crime Watch program hosted by Ian Allen. According to accuracy issue identified in some of Mr. Allen's reports, Crime Watch live episodes were substituted by repeats pending investigation. Since then, he has held conversations with him and his attorney in an attempt to discuss the claims of inaccuracy in his reporting and to find a way to continue to share with an audience Mr. Allen's unique and popular style whilst ensuring that the output is consistent with Guardian Media's limited editorial principles. So probably what he was reporting of, the guy, he probably reported the story on the guy, and the story was not accurately researched, so the guy then sued him, won the case, and now they have seized all of his things. He shouldn't be left in the dirt, though. He need a little money, because that's a lot of money.
Taking the baby fruit snacks and cereal, that's...
Love you,
You
too.
too, baby. Love you, love you. But stealing the baby fruit snacks, stealing the cereal,
that ain't right. You don't take the baby snacks.
That sound a little too far. That sound like some project stuff right there.
Those snacks are not going to help you pay off your debt or help to do anything. You need to eat. He was arrested too. Ian Allen, he was arrested at some point back in February. I guess because he didn't pay. I'm going to actually do a lot of research on this because I think it's a really good story. When I saw it yesterday, I was like, yo, they took his snacks. They took everything. They cleaned up the man's home. But that's another thing when it comes to these people that are successful and you start making money out of this business. What are you doing with your money? How are you investing your money? How are you ensuring that even if a lawsuit does come upon you, that it doesn't affect your personal life, that maybe we need to open businesses. And maybe we need to make sure that we are covered under some type of thing. But it was a very good story. And we're going to develop that. We're going to continue to report on that story to see where it leads and what happened. And, you know, it's good. Barbados is celebrating their 50th anniversary. And they're having a big event. And guess who will be there? Prime Minister, I don't know how to say his name. Prime Minister Stewart made an announcement moments ago at a press briefing in court where he is outlining some of the plans to mark the milestone. Rihanna is scheduled to sing the national anthem at a concert on Independence Day, November 30th. She will be accompanied by a choir of children. The Prime Minister said several other dignitaries had indicated an interest, while Guyana's President David Granger has confirmed his attendance as well. I think this is so great. I love Barbados. If I were to move to any island, it would definitely be Barbados.
Why?
I love it. Every time I go, I never want to leave. I almost cry every time. So, yeah. I'm there. I am there. Yeah, so what time is it? 9:04. Oh, you know what time it is now?
No, tell me.
The juicy
Oh,
reports.
are you going to play that song?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Don't you love it?
I do, actually. I really
And
do.
you know what? I respect you for that because it's a really good
They
song.
juicy.
and
They
people
juicy.
should hear it. It's time for the Juicy Report, people. So here we go. Before we start, it's official.
The juicy report on the Good Life Morning Show on Big City.
Yeah! I'm going to make you start singing that with me.
Can you just watch her face when she does it, please?
I just love it so much.
Yeah.
It was like the best thing that I've ever came up with, and I'm so happy about that. Oh, I gotta start out with this story because this story has been the story, and maybe I should end with this one because this might end up being a coffee or at some point.
Trini girl. She is. I ain't never seen her ass flag, none of Trump assaulted her on 30 odd years ago. As stated, Melania is the very thing that Trump condemned Hillary for defending her husband. They'll make compromises and accept the bad with the bad. Please continue. I will.
What you want to do? You gonna play one? I gotta play my shit. And then you gotta play my shit too. This is wire, just
Somebody said the other day that even if he doesn't win, he still won because now his ratings are through the next apprentice.
It is, and you know that show is coming back. Everybody wants to say he's gonna jab at this election for the rest of his life, people are gonna want to hear.
Hey! I ran for president.
That's real. He has a little sniffling problem. He probably needs to check it out. I don't think he's supposed to be president. He got a problem. So we need to look out for that. Man shouts free Kodak Black after vandalizing law. I don't know what's wrong with you. Y'all need to get it together. Sometimes the only way to get your point across is to yell, scream, and make the scene. Or so a Florida man thought this morning. According to WSBN7, man allegedly vandalized the 16th lobby area outside of the law office just before 6 a.m. The building was located on S Boulevard in Kendall, Florida, where the man was detained and handcuffed. He was heard yelling, "Free Kodak Black." Yeah, Hillary Clinton's a thief. The man who has not been identified placed inside of an ambulance as a precaution, where he continued to scream according to reports. The man did not gain entry into the office, and luckily no one was hurt. No charges have been made or filed at this time. But I agree with free code. Yes. And then our last story, which is probably gonna spark some conversation. So as we all know, Mary J. Blige is divorcing her husband, and they have been tied up in court because the husband
he wants $100,000 a month.
Isaac J. Blige help luxuries. Listen to this, people. Isaac got a very luxurious lifestyle during the 13 years he was married to Mary J. Blige, and he doesn't want any of that now that heading for Splitsville. It was previously reported that Isaac was requesting $130,000 in support.
You done lost your ever-loving mind.
Listen.
Does she even She's in a Burger commercial. Special song.
Ladies on the time, like hate him for it. But what he plans to do with the money is what everyone is eyebrows for. So people, I'm gonna turn the coffee to talk about these things. And I don't want to put it when it comes to men, him wanting it from her. Because there's a lot of women in this country who get spouses from their husband, and the things that they want them are ridiculous. So Isaac was manager up until she fired after filing for divorce. Now that he's out of love, he wants lavish lifestyle. Here's a breakdown of what Isaac is asked to pay for. Now you guys listen, and you're free to call up 617-000-62. And we're gonna talk about support today. Isaac wants Mary to contribute $5,000 to the child support he pays for the two children he had in a relationship.
You done lost your mind.
I'm gonna start there. Again, I'm gonna repeat. Isaac wants Mary J. Blige to contribute $5,000 to the child support he pays for the two children he had from a previous relationship.
A judge is not going to do that.
She has no kids, by the way.
She has no kids. A judge is not going to approve that.
$7,000 in rent and $1,000 allowance for new clothes.
I ain't your mama.
He wants $8,000 for a private $3,200 for a personal trainer. $5,000 he pays his parents each month. $71,000 in rent he owes to several properties.
Hold on, pause, rewind. $71,000 to his parents.
He wants $5,000 he pays his parents each month for the $71,000 in rent he owns to several properties. So I think that his parents are paying for that now, and he wants Mary J. Blige to pay him to help pay his mother. He wants $21,677. He wants to be able to give to charitable donations. He wants her to pay $100,000 for attorney fees and $30,000 for forensic accounting fees. The list goes on. The real kicker is that Kendu and Mary J. Blige signed a prenup that included a waiver of spousal support. When they went in December 2003, however, Kendu is arguing that the prenup should not be considered valid since he did not have.
Is that all you have to say for yourself?
That's your fault. That's your fault.
I'm tired. I've been working all day.
I'm so bad right now.
So people call themselves 617.
No, I can't. You should.
Spousal support in general. And let me know what you think about his list of demands.
Human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are human rights once and for all. It's our time to have wage equality once and for all, and equal rights for women in the United States of America. This is no simple reform. It really is a revolution.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I have something. I have something that I'd like to play by.
Look, I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Taken for granted, ignored, overlooked, underappreciated. We have a big problem, ladies. first, you've got to get up. Oh, yeah, get up. You know what? Get up out of your chair. Go to the window. Open your door, stick your head out, and yell.
I ain't gonna be all day. I ain't your mama. I ain't gonna do your laundry. I ain't your mama. I ain't your mama. Boy, I ain't your mama. When you gonna get your act together? I ain't your mama. No.
I ain't your mama, no. Yo, this is really real.
I ain't your mama, no. Wake up and rise and shine. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's real. That's real right there. She's not she's not his mama, and he signed a prenup. So I'm not understanding what's going on. Carla, are you there?
Now, if any judge approves this nonsense,
Then that's pure foolishness.
Carly, you're live. I can't.
Okay, first of all, this ninja is just gone off the
He
deep end.
lost
I'm like,
it.
as a man, how can you even ask for something like that? Don't you got any type of shame, any type of pride in yourself? Like,
I don't think he does.
you know what I'm saying? As a man, like, really, you gonna ask for that after you signed the prenup? Like, even if you didn't sign the prenup, like, you really gonna ask for that? That's ridiculous.
I mean, I think that's bonkers that you're gonna sit there and ask. You want her to pay $5,000 to your kids that she didn't have with you? How'd that go?
Basically, back in the day when women was to take care of the household and then basically they got married early, so they never took any education, they wasn't able to hold the job, so that the man has to support them when they get divorced. That's what it was intended for. Not for this nonsense because you want to keep up your lavish lifestyle. Like, okay, you want to keep up your lavish lifestyle, then when you stay married, you don't, then peace, see you later. You could deal with it, you know what I'm saying, with the next person.
I'm not paying for you to get a personal trainer so you can get your sexy back and go get another broad on my dime.
But not even that. If you want to get your sexy back, do it by yourself. Do it by yourself. There's no reason why all this time this man wasn't with this woman, that he didn't get things in order as a man. Was she sitting there supporting his behind the whole time, and that's why he feels like it's okay for her to have to give him things? I mean, $7,000 in rent and $1,000 allowance for new clothes. You want her to pay for your new clothes? How they do that? Where they do that at?
But $1,000?
$1,000.
But what is $1,000 a month on new clothes though? Because I, in all honesty, I know dudes that spend $500 on a belt. So I'm like, what are you getting with $1,000 a month?
If you want to maintain your lifestyle, maybe he wants to just buy a belt this month, and then next month he's gonna buy a shoe. But if that's the lifestyle you want to have, either you have to scale it back and you got to go to Primark and get you a whole wardrobe every month for $1,000, or you need to go find a job. He wants $8,000 for a private chef.
But hold on, the question is, he worked for her, she fired him, and I know usually when it comes to spousal support, it's if the spouse was dependent upon that person and did not have a job.
So he had to be getting paid. He got some money somewhere. I don't get it.
He had a job. I'm not paying you spousal support when you've been working.
I'm not giving you $8,000 for a private chef. Go to McDonald's.
I'm not paying your parents for your rent.
Exactly.
Good rising, calling you live.
Hi.
I don't think the court's going to give it to him, but that's what the court's going to look at. And women have done this for so long.
That's
and they've
true.
been married for a long period of time with a guy who makes all the money. And then when they leave or when they get divorced, what happens is that the court has to say, you're not just going to drop her and let her go back to living, off of, $50,000 a year when you're making $1.5 million. So this happens all the time. So I don't agree that he's going to get all this money from her or ask for all this money.
But he going to
it
get
happens all the
something.
time, and yet we shouldn't be so shocked when it happens the other direction.
But are the lists this ridiculous and extensive? Aren't when you get that kind of money? Really?
$100,000?
Maybe because it's
A
a guy, they actually broke down what he's asking for. But man, listen, $8,000 for a personal chef? You better learn how to cook. What you need a person? Go ahead. Oh yeah, she made bank. But wasn't she with him shooting in the gym?
He was her manager.
No, but I'm saying Michael Jordan's wife. Wasn't she with him shooting in the gym? When he first started, she wasn't with him all that time? I mean, but she was still supporting him, rubbing his shoulders and making sure he ate.
Yeah, she got way more.
She got
But how much does Michael Jordan make versus Mary J. Blige did a Burger King commercial?
I think we checked her net worth the other day, and it wasn't that much.
Why not? He had a job, though. He had a job. We signed a prenup, period.
And he's mad at the prenup because he didn't have a lawyer present. Why didn't you have a lawyer present,
You were a manager, baby. You were supposed to, that was the first thing you should have done.
You should have made sure that you had a witness to that, and now that you don't, you can't just be like, oh, I didn't have nobody present, so now it shouldn't be fair. What?
The person is in the same position they were in while they were married, and not make them go from being rich to being on public assistance. Yeah, but that's what it is.
Well, that was Wade's baby mama, right?
But I know what's going on here, and that's what he's doing.
Wade's
you know,
baby
that
mama.
double standard with the guy doing it, but he says, "Oh, what are you doing?"
Wasn't she on like?
But, you know,
She's to something out there.
Doing this forever.
She hates.
Dwayne Wade's baby mama had a similar situation. Was it Dwayne Wade's baby mama, or was it another basketball player who was like sitting outside with a sign talking about something?
Oh, I think that was her because she was a little cooked. She was a cooked cabbage too. They do.
And live in a $1 million house, and he lives in something that costs $10.25. I want to be in the same position that I was in, and the courts will say, okay, what did the
So spousal abuse in general has to be kind of looked at differently. I think that while you're with someone that is wealthy, and if you sign a prenup and stuff like that, I think that there should be some type of clause in there that you need to start making your own money
at some point,
just in case this marriage doesn't work out. You need to start a business, or you need to have some savings or something like that, or while I'm here with you, but after I'm done with you and you was lazy this whole time. Yes, Mary J. Blige is the breadwinner. We all know that.
Her net worth is $10 million. What's her name? Keisha Kior, the lipstick chick, got more money than Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige hasn't really been out there. Like, she's doing tours and stuff now, but while she was married, I feel like she kind of sat on, sat down for a while to focus on things. That's what I'm saying. I feel like they had a rocky end to their marriage because I think that he was cheating and all kinds of stuff. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. This is what the people say, and I ain't one to talk. But
I ain't one to gossip, baby.
But I heard that he was doing the most. Yeah, he's definitely not getting that. But especially with the breakdown, he's doing the most. And when you do the most, that never works out in your favor. Like, these things that he has listed here are ridiculous. And anybody that just looks or takes a glance at the list, you're like, this is foolishness. $3,200 for a personal trainer. Well, you better go get a $10 membership to Planet Fitness and go put on some weights. What is your problem? I will pay your $10 membership so you can get your life together. How about that? That's crazy.
Lord, thank you, baby.
Thank you for calling.
Oh, Lord. Good rising, Carly, you're live. Yes,
Yep.
it is.
I will.
It was on point. She went
Oh.
And you better be talking about her singing, boo.
I'm so
That's
tired.
why she had to pay out.
I'm so tired of you already. It's too early in the morning for
So
me
we
to
just
come
gonna bring
in
that
with your
down.
foolishness,
We just gonna
okay?
bring that down. Love and appreciate you. Hope you have an awesome day. Good rising, Carly, you're live.
Good morning.
Hey. Did he hang up a call back?
No, this is somebody else. Hi.
All right. First off, let me say this. I give brother props. Because like you said, y'all been milking, not y'all in particular you, but you know the female species has been milking this dead cow for over 50 years. So here's what I want to say. First of all, he did sign a prenup. Her attorney should have advised him, this is a legal document, this is a prenuptial agreement. Maybe you should have an attorney look at this. If they just brought him the paperwork and had him sign it in the back of the car, then he has some grounds, because that is something where he should have been offered an opportunity. It's just like a record contract.
No. Pause.
It's a legal contract. Just like Ice Cube didn't sign the contract with NWA and he bounced, you have the opportunity to have another attorney look at that. Now, if they just got him in a room somewhere and got him to sign it real quick, okay, cool, that's your prenup. And now he's thinking, well, you know what, I really don't understand these legal words and this and that. A judge may look at that and say, well, you know what? And it's like asking, you really need $10, but you ask to borrow 30. You might get 20, but you know you're going to get the 10 that you need, at least at a bare minimum. So he's asking high. He knows he's not going to get that much. He might get 50, he might get 60, or he may go back to the original amount that he signed in the prenup. But at least he can get a judge to look at that and be like, all right, well, you signed this were you given an opportunity to have an attorney look at it? How long from the time you got the prenup to the time you signed it? Did the lawyer offer you opportunity to have somebody else look at it? So he's got a little crack of opportunity. But that's why he's asking for so much and some of these outlandish things, because he doesn't want $100,000 a month. He probably really only wants 30 or 50. But if he asks for 130, they may cut it down and give him 60 or somewhere. But you know, he's just negotiating. He's just playing the game, and this is how law is done in America.
But wait. This man is supposed to be a manager. He's supposed to be her manager, and she's not no little star. She's a real star. So when you accept this role, when you accept this role as somebody's manager, you need to be versed in what it takes to be a manager. And as a manager, you need to understand that nobody's going to take you in the back of a car and be like, here's my lawyer, sign this prenup. I'm pretty sure he read over that. I'm pretty sure that he didn't think that he would be divorced from her or anything that happened. You can't be like, oh, I don't understand these big words now because you understood the big words while you was getting those big checks and you was getting those big dollars, but all of a sudden you don't know the big words?
See, my thing is, they had a conversation prior to getting married, like, maybe you finna sign this prenup.
Because I got money, you don't.
Exactly. And he already knew and had proper opportunity then when, oh, Lord have mercy, she didn't. Had proper opportunity then to say, listen, let me go ahead and, sit down with my attorney, come back to you. It wasn't no backseat deal.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
Mary J ain't.
He knew exactly what he doing. He thought that he came up on his prize mule, and he got that, and he lasted in that marriage for 11 years. He never thought that she would divorce him, and because he was being nasty and out in the streets, ringing his dangling all over the place.
You know what this means, though?
What?
You know what this means? No more happy Mary J. Blige.
Oh,
You about
yes.
to get real music back.
I saw a clip of her at her last performance in Foxwoods. And I mean, that woman was in her feelings, and it felt good. And I felt good about it. I got into my
sick of her
feelings
being
too.
in a relationship.
Fine. Woo! I want 11 years of sacrifice, and you will leave me at. Is that her?
The drop of
yes.
Yo, my biggest thing is I'm trying to figure out who told her it was okay about hateration, holleration
in the dancery.
Please tell me. Her and R. Kelly thought they could just make up any words and get away with it.
That's crazy.
Dancery.
Dancery.
Is that now in the Urban Dictionary?
No, they didn't put that one in there. Again, people, we're talking about spousal support. The Mary J. Blige and her estranged husband's divorce settlement and what he wants because of their breakup. So let me just break it down for you again. He wants $5,000 in child support. He pays for the 2 children he had from a previous marriage. Again, let you guys understand, break it down a little bit. These are not her kids. I'm pretty sure that she has gotten very close to them over the years. She treats them as they are her own. Fine. Okay.
They're not.
They're not mine. At the end of the day, they're not mine. I will take them on the weekend, sometimes take them to Disney World, to the park, but I'm not paying $5,000
for their college tuition.
For child support. They're your kids. You pay for your children. Even though that when you do get married, though, the spouse does have to pay for.
Are you serious?
Yeah. If you get married and your husband or your baby's father is on child support, they are now taking from both incomes, especially if you file, jointly together. So that's why it's always better.
Are there
ladies,
single men with no kids? Listen.
That's why, ladies, wait till he marries someone wealthy before you put him on child support.
Hold on, what? I can't co-sign that. What'd you just say? I missed that.
You gotta wait till he get that double income, and that's when you put him on child support. That's when things get real. One of our callers calls it hush money. That's child support is hush money. That's when you gotta get that hush money, that good kind of hush money. Make sure that he marries someone that is a very good person.
Chantel Renee said that's not true. Chantel.
Tell me.
617-282-0062 or inbox me. What's not true?
No, I think that's true.
That it takes from both.
It takes from both. When you marry someone, you are paying for some of that child support.
Because I know you pay for that college student loan. I know
sure
they take from that student loan if you don't pay that. Why my credit gotta suffer because you didn't pay your student loan? 617-282-0062. Verizon call you live.
Morning.
Good rising.
Quick, let's flip the script. If this was the guy and there's the ladies, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you ladies. I just think you guys are being lady chauvinists because this guy has been married for years. I don't see nothing wrong with it, with the exception of the personal.
Child support is a broke hustle.
What it is, that's the lifestyle he's living.
Hold
that's
on.
how it should.
Hold on. Wait before you go. In the beginning, my disclaimer was we're not gonna just put it on him wanting the money from her. We're talking about spousal support in general. Should women be wanting this kind of crazy foolishness either, or or should it stop? Like, do we have to find some type of way for this foolishness to stop? So proceed.
But I feel like in the future we need to do something about it. But in the meantime, you do your research. I'm not coming at you ladies, but I'm just saying in general, men been getting raped for years. And it is what it is, and they don't care how we living after that. The child support, no matter what. The guys are living in our houses that we made and made bread with, and they got this one and their kids and so forth and so on. They don't care about the dudes, and I just think the guys get the short end of the stick. Just keep it at 100. I love you ladies. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
Love you.
Keeping it 100, judger.
But I get it though, as far as like females been doing this for years.
But it's not right either.
Exactly. I don't think baby mama should be able to do it. Ex-girlfriends should be able to do it. I'm not just speaking on behalf of a man taking from a woman, which I think like I can't have.
Yeah.
I'm one of those women. I'm not about to just give you money.
Yeah.
I hate for a bum to ask a female for money. Like, you're a man. You're supposed to be giving unto me, not me giving unto you.
My sister says Mary should buy him a big bus so he can have all the seats. And you don't have to be married as long as you have a joint account. They can garnish your wages for child support. So,
if you have a joint account.
Yeah.
So what if you're not married? I mean, you are married and you have separate accounts. Can they still dig into my account?
I think so.
Where's
I think there's some.
at?
Yeah, attorneys call us up 617-282-0062. We're talking about spousal support. Talk to us, people.
Good rising, call you live.
Good morning.
Hey.
I think that man's crazy. First of all, I think you will get some money, even though, you know, he did sign the spousal support. The thing is, I was married before. It's what you are accustomed to. So if he's accustomed to sitting at home with a chef, you know, it sounds stupid, but they will give him some of what he is accustomed to. Like the guys that are calling, you know, they saying lady's been doing it. It's not what we've been doing. It's what is right. You know, so if your wife has been with you forever and you let her sit at home not work, you know, she's home, she's a mom and so forth, of course you can't just leave her to be homeless. She has to have something, you know, some money, something, a home.
Even if
trying to have a baby so they can have money, but when you're married,
Baby,
if you are accustomed to being at home, going to the nail shop, getting your hair done, guess what, Papa, you're gonna have to pay for it to keep doing that.
but still, he signed a prenup.
But that's what I'm saying. I think he will still get some money though, because he's accustomed to a lot of things. He signed a prenup.
Call in. This ain't my show, baby. I don't dictate that.
Come on, Mary J. You know that's not right. Why would you sign something like that with no lawyer? But I think you will get some type of amount. And as far as like child support and when you're married, listen, if I'm married to my husband,
I love her accent though.
he is on child support, and let's say for because when you're a child, they want you to put, you know, health insurance, and I have health insurance and he doesn't, guess what?
You're paying for the health insurance, yeah.
When you marry, there's a lot that come with it. So people need to research and think it's all love and whatever, no. So you getting divorced and you like, hold up, I'm about to pay for this kid, that's not mine, I'm about to do this. That's how it works. But as far as guys calling saying ladies been doing it, it's not doing it, it's what the law is. And you know, listen, when you marry, stop letting your chick, your husband, sit at home playing video games. Because at the end, you're the one that's gonna pay for that. Because you have to keep paying for them being at home not doing anything.
How about you just get you somebody who don't sit at home do nothing?
Exactly.
So I ain't gotta pay you a damn thing.
You gotta find a man, or you gotta find a man that has, you know, like the same type of drive that you have to. You can't be out here marrying these bums and expecting that you're gonna build them up. Like in that relationship, I'm not saying that she has to be his mama because she ain't his mama. But she needs to be like, yo, can do for real. You gotta get up and you need to start a business, or you need to start a firm where you manage other artists so that if anything happens that you are whatever. Because I made this prenup, and in the prenup the clause is for spousal abuse. Like, I'm not paying you. But I think with the children you might have to. I think he might get something for the children because they were married. I ain't your mama. I ain't your mama.
I ain't giving you $100,000 because I ain't your mama.
I'm not your mama, and I'm not giving you my own money. Shoot, let me tell you.
Lord have mercies. So, Good Life Morning Show.
Yes.
Big City 101.3 FM.
I'm crippled right now.
HotSauce is in the building. Shout out to Val. I'm subbing for the moment.
Sub me in, coach. Sub me in.
Sitting on the bench. I've been sitting on the bench. No, and today we're talking about spousal support. It sounds like spousal abuse, for real.
That's what it does sound like. Spousal abuse in the case of Kendu Isaacs and Mary J. Blige. As she is the breadwinner in that relationship, she does have a prenup where there is a waiver for spousal abuse, so he shouldn't be getting it. Right now, he's saying that the prenup shouldn't matter because of the fact that he signed it without a lawyer, but her lawyer was present. Sounds like a personal to me. But he wants $130,000 a month in spousal support. That's extreme. That is a very, very extreme number. But I wonder if they're gonna settle on just on a number, period. That's a different way, right? I think so.
282-0062. Your rising caller, you're live.
Hey.
When people wasn't mad when Karen Fernandez did it, so why would I be mad when he did it? She shouldn't get a pass because she's Mary J. Blige. You know, a lot of women been getting away with a lot of stuff. So you know, I think eye for eye, 2 for 2. So that way, your money's your money, my money's my money. Then we never be married. Money. Well, the whole thing, premises of being married is based on a dowry. It's on financial income. It wasn't based on love. People got to look at the institution of marriage and what it really means versus you putting your
mean I'm gonna give you all my money,
But
son.
he's right though,
It's
because when you think about marriage back in the day, it was all about like, I'll give you my daughter if you give me some sheep. Like
some
that's
sheep. two mules and some land.
Daddy, that's all I'm worth to you, Daddy. Nah, I wasn't with
I wasn't with
Caroline
it
taking Brittany's money either.
But you know what? They had a kid together though.
Yeah.
They had a kid together, and he got custody of the child. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
To take care of myself.
But
But he came up both ways. He got money for the kids and he got a little bit of money for himself.
but Kendu don't even have
Yeah,
children
kids.
with Mary J. Blige, and no, when for a little bit. I think that I think it's because of the things that are happening in it. There are different clauses. There are a lot of times that these women, I'm not saying all of them, but let's take Savannah and King James. Like, she literally was with him through high school. She has 3 or 4 kids. 4 kids with him. If they get divorced, he has what? 4 rings? 3 rings? 1 ring. 1 ring?
3?
How much rings that King James got?
I don't know.
But he got money, he got endorsements. She was with him when they were in college, when he was a little snot-nosed
When he didn't know how to
running
shoot
up and
nothing in
down.
the gym.
Exactly. So, like, in that case, I understand. Like, she has been accompanied to this lifestyle from forever. Kendu's a grown behind man. And I'm not saying that it's just for men. But when you are a grown behind person and you marry someone with wealth, and they say, you know what, I love you to death, but I got to sign this prenup because I need to protect my assets after the fact. Like, you do this because you don't want to commit financial suicide if something happens to you. So for him to take advantage of this and say, oh, I know I signed that prenup. I know that there's a waiver in it, but I didn't have a lawyer present, even though I'm a manager, so I'm very versed in how these contracts go. I still want all of this for myself. That's not okay. I think you just
Child support, but he should get money that he's entitled to the time that he was with her and she was on her feet making these songs.
I feel like I think that's a settlement issue. I don't think that it should be monthly support. Okay, let's constitute how much you was with me sitting on it. He had a career.
He had a job.
He had a career.
He was her manager. So this works.
Support haven't been working a day. They can work. They don't want to work.
So you're doing the opposite of what we're doing. So you're saying that because women have done it for years, it's okay for him to do it to her, regardless of whether he deserved it.
I'm playing devil's advocate, eye for eye, tooth for tooth.
So you just want her to be a scapegoat for this situation. You want to make an example out of Mary J. Blige.
So I don't know if you know this, HotSauce, but I'm really big as far as being a male advocate. I'm an advocate for fathers all the time. I don't think that, somebody posted on Facebook Live that child support is a broke chick's hustle. And I really do feel that men are taken advantage of when it comes to their finances and not allowed to be dads and not allowed to be, a parent. They're just there to be a bank account. So I advocate for men on a daily basis. I don't want anybody to feel as if, just because it's a man, I feel some type of way about this spousal
I feel
support.
the same way about this.
He had a prenup that he signed. And being in the business that he was already in.
You know these things.
Yeah, you're not foreign to a prenup. You're not foreign to knowing that you should have had an attorney there.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't foreign language to you. And for him to say $130,000, when Mary J. Blige's net worth is $10 million, I think that is above and beyond what you should be asking for. As far as the shooting in the gym and I need this and I need that, I worked for you. and you worked for me. So I'm gonna give you this little bit of bread that you worked for.
Real quick.
Where your pension at? This here, I'm gonna contribute to your pension. Here go your 401k. But for you to sit here and think for 5 seconds, I'm gonna pay your mama, your daddy,
Your
and
children.
your baby mama, you done lost your ever loving mind.
Lost it. Right, lost it. And again, like you said, we started this out where it's not about
It's not sexist.
him versus her. It's about in general. Should you be paid all of this money for randomness, for just these things? $8,000 for a personal chef? You can't find a cheaper personal chef?
$5,000 to pay your parents, though?
You can't get one of those boxes that come into the mail for like $160 a week that makes all your food for the week. You can't get one of those white meat personal chef.
How you know how much it costs? Because I was wondering how much it is.
I think they're like $160 a week. They get you all your meals and stuff like that.
They take food stamps?
I hope so. Kendu needs to kind of scale it back. But like one of the callers said, you only need $10. You ask for 30, you might get 20. So he's looking for a come up in some way. And you're right, everybody. He's probably gonna get something because he's been living in this lifestyle. I don't think that it constitutes for him to have $130 a month and paying for his personal chef and for a personal trainer and for your children and for the properties that you own because you never paid up on them and for your shoe game and for your $1,000 wardrobe and just because. There's something in there about he wants her to pay for charities that he wants to give to. Why you just can't ask her to pay for the charities? Can you give some money to the charities?
Not even. While you worked as a manager, go find another artist to manage.
Yes.
And give your own damn money to whatever charity you feel like giving to.
But these are all things that he has listed in these things that he wants, and it's ridiculous. Regardless of whether he was a man, or regardless if there was a man-woman or a woman-man relationship, and the man was a breadwinner, and the woman was the breadwinner, who cares? These things are ridiculous, and if you have a prenup, you are almost really not entitled to anything. Come on. I think it's crazy. This is crazy talk.
So really quickly, I want to read some of these comments because we are Facebook Live. Yes, court order. The courts can freeze your individual accounts. You should have had a male like me on the show to give my account. Brittany didn't want her kids when her ex got custody. She paid because she wanted her freedom. Did you hear what she said about her kids last week? I did not. What did Brittany say about her kids last week? Go on and tell me. Matthew said, again, I state the fact, child support and spousal support are a broke chick's hustle, and I stand by it. Kendu isn't the problem. The system is the problem. Reggie said, LOL at HotSauce. Charles said, y'all about that life this rising. One of the things that I do want to bring up as far as the system is concerned, one of the things on my show, Waking Up with TaylaAndre, we had a guest come in and talk about child support, and something that many people don't know is Social Security 4D states that every child support dollar that a male or woman gives, the state is given $66 for every dollar from the federal government. So the system wants for more women to put men on child support, because if we have 100,000 women on child support getting $1 from their baby daddy, that's 66 cents times 100,000. And if you're one of those states that meet the quota and you meet quotas every month, you get 68 cents for every dollar.
That's crazy.
So the state has an incentive for more people to be on child support, because the more money that goes through the child support system, the more money the state earns from the federal government from Social Security 4D. Don't believe me? Do your due diligence.
I think that's a whole nother topic about opening up conversation again with the person that you have a child for. Like, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. Is there a way that we can come to terms with this? I think that a lot of women end up on child support because they are tired of talking, and they are tired of asking for help and they're not getting it. They are tired of men sitting around and complaining about not seeing their child when they're not making the effort to see the child. They are not doing enough things to, make their, and you know what, I've heard so many horror stories on men on child support with baby mamas who are doing like Kendu, sitting at home, not having a job, not doing anything, and demanding money. This is not how you are a person. This is not how you become a woman. This is not a parent. Like, a child needs both parents to be working, or at least them to be in the same, I don't even know. But there are a lot of women out there that are putting men on child support because they don't want to do anything else with their life. And that's when I think it's not fair. But there are a lot of things that men can do. And again, I like to advocate for men too. There's a lot of things that men can do that could probably prevent themselves from going on child support. Because I feel like a lot of times women would prefer the time spent with the father instead of getting the money. Because when you're not getting anything, you're not getting any money, you're not getting any help, you're not getting any quality time, the child doesn't see the father often, like, that's hurtful. So I have this child for you. I have this child for you. Can you help with it? And I think that a lot of times for good mothers, for good actual parents and co-parenting, they would prefer that the child's father spend time with the child versus the money. I don't need your money. I work. I do a good thing. I have multiple jobs, or I'm in school. I'm making a better life. Can you take your child?
Give me my personal time.
You don't want to give me money. Can you take your child so I can get another job so that I can continue to support it? But I can't be paying for a babysitter and paying for your child. That's crazy. So, like, as we're advocating for men, we also have to advocate for men to actually do better. And when these women are doing you dirty, and these women are not working, and these women keep on asking you for more money, and then she's like, oh, I'm not going to let you see my kid.
That's my kid too.
You need to go to court, and you need to say, hey, I want to see my kid.
Absolutely.
I will pay whatever. I will pay this, but I'm going to have my kid. Stop taking the easy route where she won't let me see my kid. Go figure out how you can see your child. How about that? Where's my shoes?
HotSauce went all the way in. All the way in.
Because child support is very, very important to me.
And can I tell you something, men? Let me tell you something. If you have your children more than they're with their mother,
listen,
and you pay for whatever that child needs while the child's with you, she can't complain about what she needs because the baby with me.
And there will be women that will complain, but you got to put a stop to it. Stop being soft. I said it. Don't be soft when it comes to these baby mamas. Stand your ground. It's a law from Alec.
I love you. I love you for that. I almost cursed. Really quickly, we have an anonymous. My husband has an older child, and they do not consider my income at all. He also cheated and had a baby throughout our marriage, and the lady filed child support for the illegitimate child, and they still did not come from my income. So that is not true at all. I would like to be anonymous. Baby, you always anonymous. I would never put you on blast.
No, I want to see because that's not what I heard from a lot of men. Like, when you have I think there was a case, I think Val and I spoke about it some weeks ago, where a woman had a baby with another, you know what? She was married to her husband. She had a baby with someone else, and the husband had to support that baby of the wife. Was it because they are married?
Hold on. I heard he signed the birth certificate.
I don't know.
Because if he signed the birth certificate, then he is saying that he is the father of that child, even though he's not biologically.
But even if he doesn't sign it, isn't the child like living in his house if he decides to stay with her because they're married?
We had this conversation with Daniel Osina about the child is used to.
But he's probably not gonna come in. Let me see if I can get him. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of legally, when we spoke about this legally, how it plays out. So if you've been an active role in that child's life, then the courts. I could be wrong. I'm not going to bite my tongue. Good rising, caller, you're live. Hey.
Good morning, Ms. HotSauce.
Good morning.
One thing I wanted to actually ask, we all know that Mary J been out there for years, right?
Years, yeah.
Why is it that her net worth is only 10 million?
We went over that the other day, yeah.
I wouldn't even give him that.
Mm-mm.
Now, Whatever he made as my manager is what I'm willing to give. I'm willing to give him 1 year, exactly 1 year worth of what you made every month. How about that? And then we're done with each other. You sign a prenup. We talked outside of this legal document. I told you weren't about to get my money.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I had you sign the prenup, because you weren't getting my money. Conversation done. I don't care if I have a penis or a vagina. We signed a prenup. You're not finna get my money. You had a job. Go find another artist to manage.
You are not getting my money.
Hateration
In this dancery. So I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but obviously we will be following the story because it is a really big topic. A lot of people feel all kinds of ways about it. I don't think that she should be made the scapegoat or made an example of because she's a woman now in this position. It's not right. Like at the end of the day, it's just not right. And we're not saying it's right when women do it to men either. It's not right. It's crazy. $8,000 for a personal chef?
You really on it.
I'm
Are
really
you jealous? You a personal chef?
I wish I had a personal chef. I would be skinny. I feel like I want some spinach and some egg whites
I know,
every
that's
morning. Just so we can go through it again. It is posted on my Facebook page. Make sure you're following me, Miss Hot Sauce to You. His actual page, it's Miss Hot Sauce to You. Isaac wants
Number two, letter U.
Yes. Isaac wants Mary J. Blige to contribute $5,000 to child support. He pays for the 2 children he had from a previous relationship. $7,000 in rent. $1,000 allowance for new clothes. $8,000 for a private chef. $3,200 for a personal trainer. $5,000 he pays his parents each month. $71,000 in rent he owes to several properties. $21,000 he wants to be able to give to charitable donations. $100,000 for attorney fees and $30,000 for his forensic accounting fees.
Okay. With that being said, I'm gonna read some of these comments that came through the Facebook Live. Brittany said her kids were horrible when they were younger. That's not something as a loving parent you tell the public. Reggie said this is why women are less likely to be put on support because they are less likely to pay. The state doesn't make money off of them. The system will collapse overnight. One of the comments that I wanted to make for that was my cousin's baby mama was on child support. He did not care that all he got was $2.99 a month. It was the fact that broad was on child support. So it is possible, and he does live in the state of Massachusetts. Al said, actually, I have to correct myself what I said about Brittany. You go to court and you get visitation rights if she won't let you see your kids. You shouldn't have to pay to see your kids. That's a hostage situation. Al said, you know your rights and you spend time with your kids. Some men will sit there like bozos and just give up seeing their children. Al said, I think Mary had some tax issues a while back, and that's why her money is not as long as it should be. Show me a judge that has charged a woman with contempt for disobeying a visitation. They won't charge a woman with contempt. So that we had on the Wake Up with TaylaAndre show, we had it's the Governor's Council. The Governor's Council chooses and picks, nominates for the governor to choose judges. If you don't listen, on the last election in September, they were voting for the Governor's Council. These are things that we don't know about. So if you don't know what the Governor's Council is, you don't know that the Governor's Council chooses judges, including family judges, family court judges, child support judges, speeding ticket judges. All those judges have their own biases. All those judges have their own feelings about anything, and we don't know. These are people that are sitting at the court.
People that are actually voting are getting their people into the offices. So if we're not voting, we don't get our people into the office. So you see how your vote counts?
I love your faces. Show me a judge that charged a woman with contempt for disobeying visitation. Family court needs to be completely overhauled. $8,000 for a chef is crazy. Floyd Mayweather pays his chef $5,000 and he's worth millions. So we're coming to the top of the hour. We do have the phone lines all the way lit up and people trying to reach us as well. But
Oh yeah,
Keep
show
the
is
conversation
over.
going online.
We're gonna talk about this on my page today. Make sure that you're following Hennessy and Hot Wings podcast on. We do a discussion question each and every day, and I think that we're gonna bring this up to see, what you guys on Facebook think about it. We have been live. I have been streaming Taylor's live, so take a look at it. Tell us what you think. Can do Mary J. Blige. Can do need to he can do a lot of other
He
things.
can get a job.
He can go have a seat, take a nap. Boy, bye. 617-282-0062. We're about to be out of here, people. Where can we find you, Tayla?
You can find me at I am TaylaAndre, TaylaAndre. You can throw a .com after that, or just find me anywhere and everywhere. TaylaAndre, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The show has been recorded on YouTube, so you can go.
Share that.
Yeah, you can go to YouTube and find the show. Yesterday and today was recorded on Facebook and YouTube. I have over 500 shows on Mixcloud.
Shush.
And today is supposed to be TaylaAndre's anniversary day.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Oh, happy anniversary to you.
Uh-oh, sing, baby, sing.
Happy anniversary to you. You like that?
I love it.
I should do show tunes or something.
Oh, that would be dope.
Oh my god. I'm going to start a new thing called Show Tunes with Sauce.
Listen, we have to get through documentaries.
Oh yeah, documentary day. We have to get through voting day. We have a lot to do.
We have a lot to talk
We
about.
need to sit down and really start to get underway with these people. This is going to be amazing. We're going to have the city on lock.
So the people that really did hit me up yesterday about 420 with wine in documentaries.
I love it. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, they think it's amazing too.
And, they had to throw the 420 in there.
They had to throw the
420 in there. People, thank you so much for joining us today again on the Good Life Morning Show. We will be back here tomorrow. My special job you're listening to. We will be back here tomorrow. Val Beats will be back in the building. Hot Sauce Val Beats, Good Life Morning Show. Thank you, Taylor. Wake up with TaylaAndre in the mornings from 5 to 7.
It's not Tayla.
Taylor.
It's Tayla.
Taylor. Waking up with TaylaAndre.
Everybody, cousins, aunties, Tayla.
Taylor. They call you Taylor?
No, Tayla, like Taila, Tayla.
Taylor.
But it's Tayla, yeah.
Taylor.
Bostonian, that's what it is.
That's how we talk, bro. Taylor. Waking up with TaylaAndre.
Say
Cavassier. We got Cavassier later. Anyways, yes, like people, like I said, Good Life Morning Show, Hot Sauce, Val Beats. Today TaylaAndre has been filling in for Val Beats, but he will be back tomorrow. More good. What does he say? Good music, good vibes, good something. And then if I do, shout out to all the people that are shouting out in our social media, and every time you say social media. Whether it's good, bad social media, all you gotta do is social media. Have a good day.
Shout out to El Neo, one of the baddest DJs in the whole city, and when I mean bad, I mean good. He's so dope.
Team Jerk in the building.
Sure.
Oh, and Jeff 2 times, I hear you. Thank you for helping me out today. But people, we're out of here. Join us tomorrow, 7:30.
Oh, last but not least, please head over to the babies, Maya's.
Oh, yes.
Maya's GoFundMe. They did meet their goal of $10,000, but if you ever travel to Trinidad and Tobago, you know how expensive it is to just travel, let alone trying to travel with the whole family and burying your 17-year-old daughter.
They are having services for her at Jubilee Church on Blue Hill Ave on Saturday. I believe it's the 22nd from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Even if you don't want to do GoFundMe, head down to Jubilee on Saturday. Maybe give them an envelope. Anything that you guys can give them will help. And we need to start the dialogue, people, about talking to our children about friends and the actions of friends and about safety and everything that just goes on that we don't think that we have time to do, but we have to make time to talk to our kids about these kind of things. The discussions are always open here on Big City. You can call in at any time. We are 24 hours streaming, and we have the app that you can download, and you can have also call in the call-in number, data free, 605-475-0008. But with that said, we got to be out of here. Make sure you're following me on Instagram and all that other stuff at Miss Hot Sauce to you. Thank you so much for joining the Good Life Morning Show on Big City 101.3.
Big City 101.3.
Listen to
Just up there.
so
101.3 FM. Sister,
now my back is hurting me. Oh, let me turn that.
You're okay, baby. You're okay.
I'm dying, Taylor. My chakras are out of line.
Go see Dr. Sikasa.
Over there on Blue Line, right?
Yes, I love her. Go get your colon clean.
Go get your.
I love you.
Thank you again. I love you guys too. I love you too the most. Hi, people. I love you. I love you. Air humps to you all. Air humps.
What does an air hump look like?
Air hump.
Hey, 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 hey.
Oh, my neck.
I'll see you guys in the AM. Mwah. Sikasa.